Oh,
Well,
bless you, bless you. But we're ready to kick off. It's that time of the day. So,
go ahead, sir.
welcome, Leroy. It's
Hello,
good to have
Dave.
you. Good to have you here, man. So the usual format. We're going to ask you some TPM questions. We're going to mix in some questions from the community on Twitter, and then we're
Perfect.
going to open it up to the people listening to see if they've got any live questions.
All righty,
So
let's get started.
let's go. So I think you've been on Twitter since what, 2020?
Yes,
Um,
sir.
is that when you first got into VP, or is that just when you joined Twitter? What got you into virtual photography, and when did you join?
Well, I could give the funny answer and say it all started with Pokemon Snap on Nintendo 64. But if I'm going to be more realistic, it did start in 2020 when quarantine became a thing. Because I've always been like a generation behind. Like I got my first PlayStation 1 in 2001, which was right after PS2 came out. I got my PS2 right after PS3 came out, so I've been a little behind in the console game. But
Yeah,
once quarantine started up, I was like, I need to upgrade this and get into some games I've been looking forward to for a long time. So I did, and got Horizon Zero Dawn, Fallen Order, Dark Souls 3, a bunch of games I was really looking forward to. And I got on Facebook to look for some groups. And I think I found this Horizon Zero Dawn group that Cynthia and Bradley were running. And I started seeing photo mode pictures in there. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't know what this is. And
yeah,
I found out that photo mode was an option. And I was like, oh, so cool. You mean I can pause the game and move the camera around and stuff? And I just thought that was really neat, and just the quality of the photos Nick and Cynthia and Bradley were pumping out all the time just blew my mind. So I was like, man, this is super fun. So I started really getting into it with probably Horizon Zero Dawn first, but I got Tsushima soon after. So that's where the
oh
story
yeah,
really began.
definitely, definitely. And isn't it weird how when you start virtual photography, you don't know about it, and there's just this mode that's been sat there, and you're like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
What is this?
I mean, I played The Last of Us on PlayStation 3 years before I got my PlayStation 4, and I noticed there was a thing where if I accidentally clicked the sticks in, like it would turn on a camera. And
Yeah,
I was kind of confused by it back then. I was like, "What? What is this? Get out of here!" I didn't want to do that. And then I started seeing people taking some serious photos online, and I was like, "Oh, that's what that's about." So that really got me onto it. I think that Horizon Zero Dawn Facebook group by Cynthia and Bradley and Nick. So shout out to them for getting me started.
big him up because you were in VPS as well, weren't you? Virtual Photography Society. I think I saw you kicking around in there when I was in that group on Facebook when I
Yeah,
first
that's where it
started.
all began.
Wow, back in the day. Now
Yeah,
we're
3 years ago.
2023 and we're on Twitter.
I know, right? We've moved on.
Exactly. Cool. So you mentioned in there Ghost of Tsushima. So we all know you're a bit of a Ghost of Tsushima VP legend. What's your favourite thing about the game, and why do you think it grabbed you as it did? And Aaron on Twitter incidentally also said, "What is it that you love about the game?" So what drew you to that game? Because you're most probably well known for that work, but that's obviously not your only VP you do, but you're most well known for it.
Sure.
So what's your favourite thing about it, and what grabbed you?
Hmm. I would definitely say just the atmosphere, 100%. Like I grew up with an older sister who was into anime and such, so I got into it as a kid. And like Rurouni Kenshin and other samurai shows were just super fun to me. And I wasn't the kid running around with the fake katana calling everyone milady or anything, but I'm still a slight weeb. And samurai films and anime just were like a comfort choice for me since I was a kid. And in
Yeah,
2017, I saw that Ghost trailer from the Paris Games Week, and I was like, oh my God, this is everything I needed a game. It's like Assassin's Creed, but better, and in
yeah,
Japan. And oh my God, I was like, this is amazing. And I love that there's not a bunch of crazy mysticism. There's not a lot of like magic or insanely impossible powers in the game. It's just a solid, realistic human story about a samurai, his pride, his sword, his choices. And I was like, that's, oh my God, that's what I need. And yeah, I just really got into it. And also, Kurosawa movies, that being like a solid background and inspiration for the game. Once you
Yeah,
watch a few of those movies and then play the game, you're like, holy shit, this is exactly what they were going for.
I'm gonna have
And
to watch them.
it's so good. Sucker Punch told such a great story with that, and it may be a little predictable and slightly repetitive with like the side missions, but that's an open world game. That's something that you can't avoid. And each person in the game, each side story, they all have great depth and moments, and it's crazy when almost every side mission is impactful and sad. You know, usually these games they have some dumb thing off on the side, and Kenji I guess counts for that in the game, but it's so good. Almost 90% of the game's spoken content is well written, powerful, relatable, and it's just oh my god, they check all the boxes with music, story, setting, character building, character growth, fated duels of honor. You know, I just love that thing. And
And
funny
the
story
com-
about it actually, about a year before the game came out, I remembered Jin had a grapple hook in the trailer. And I
mm,
saw the Sekiro screen on PlayStation Store, and I was like, "Oh, samurai with a grapple hook! That's the game!" And I bought it, and I realized the hellscape I've launched myself into. I was like, "Oh my god, this is not this is not the game. This is so hard." But Sekiro was really good and worth it once I beat it. But
I see.
uh,
I bought that after I played Dark Souls 3, and I
good
loved it.
choice.
And I started playing it, and then I got to think. I think it's like the not the big first boss because you got that boss. I can't. Is it some kind of wolf thing or something? But you get to a boss which he's running around a battlefield. I can't remember
Yeah,
which one it was. I could not get
Gilbert.
past him. Yeah, I couldn't get past him. I put the game down after that.
Huh. Yeah, it really challenged my patience, but I ended up beating it. But back to Tsushima, it's just the whole story, the whole 9 yards, the music, the characters, everything is the atmosphere is perfect for me, and that's what really made it my favorite game and my whole personality on Twitter. You know, Photomotive
Yeah.
Sue. That's a reason it's my name.
And I mean, the combat's so fluid as well, isn't it? That's one thing I
Oh,
love.
for sure.
The combat is amazing.
You wouldn't expect it, but once you put on that hard difficulty and really get the grasp of it, man, it's so rewarding.
And I think that's what's coming out more and more in games now, whether it's Ghost of Tsushima or whether it's Jedi Survivor and things that are coming out recently. They're really nailing the combat and making you feel like the person you're playing, aren't they?
They really are. The combat in several games, I think they're getting. I think Dark Souls has kind of taken the championship of best combat, you know, at least in my circle. And a lot of other game developers like, wait a minute, everyone loves this. Let's try to make our games a little more fluid and difficult. And you know, I like that. I like a hard game. That's just how I operate. And
Yeah,
Sushima's not necessarily hard, but once you put it on the lethal, it can get a little tricky with those duels.
yeah. See, whenever I first play a game, I'm always a real wimp and playing like easy mode or something just to like get used to it first before I ramp up the difficulty.
Hey, that's whatever. I played Horizon on story mode the first time I played it just to enjoy it. So it's whatever, you know. To each
Exactly,
their own.
exactly. And I'm doing that with Final Fantasy 16 at the moment. You know,
Hmm.
I want to enjoy it first, and then I can ramp it up. But anyway, Ghost of Tsushima. So also, Josh on Twitter asks, "What's your favourite armor in the game?" There's lots of the armor, and you can upgrade it and dye it and all that kind of thing. What's your favourite armor set?
You had to ask. Well,
I did have to ask.
well, he had to ask, I guess. I think pre DLC, my favorite armor was the Ghost armor.
Yeah,
It's just a solid look. It's super cool. And once you get through the story and he gets his armor, you're like, hell yeah, I'm the Ghost now. So that was my
yeah.
favorite for a while. And then once the DLC came out, it's the Ryuzo skin. I just love that outfit. It looks so good.
And which one's that?
It's I can't remember the name of it. It's Ryuzo's outfit though.
Okay, I'll have to have a look at that. Could
Hold
you
on, let me look it up super fast. Ryuzo outfit Ghost of Tsushima. I'll see what it is. It
Because
is
you can get some
called Deadly Rivals attire.
deadly right. Okay, let's note that one down then.
Yeah, you get it in New Game Plus because they offer a new merchant in New Game Plus.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I started playing Legends as well.
Oh,
Because
Legends is so good.
you can get some cool armor and that. But I was playing on my own, didn't have any friends,
Hmm.
um, trying to grind, and yeah, I was getting owned. And then people used to keep joining and then disappearing halfway through,
Yeah, that
which
was a
wasn't
bit of a
very cool.
problem with Ghost Online. Once people started feeling they were not doing as well as they wanted, they would just dip out with no consequence, like other games, where if you quit, they'll make you not be able to play for like 10 minutes or whatever. Ghost doesn't do that, so people would just
Yeah.
drop out at any time.
See, I've been meaning to play with Nick and Cynthia because they said they'll get on and help me grind, but I haven't got a headset, so
Yeah,
can't
they're the ones that got me through all the raids and whatnot. So again, shout out to you guys. Oh, and
really.
Lauren between Dpixels. She's
Yeah,
great too.
definitely. They're well up for helping me grind. I just need to get myself a headset.
I think we did the raids as they first came out, and that, oh my God, man, those things last like 2 hours long. It's wild.
We'll definitely have to get into that then. What Aaron and Uko VP have also asked on Twitter, what are your thoughts on the rumored sequel, and where are you hoping it will be set?
So if my history is correct, which I doubt it is, so don't quote me on this out there, Twitter. I think the Mongolian invasion happened in two parts. I think they hit the island of Tsushima first, and then they went to the mainland after. So that's where I'm envisioning the game going. Jin's going to go off to the mainland, and we're going to have an even bigger map. Obviously, it's not going to be all of Japan, but who knows, man? Who knows with these games anymore?
Because the map is big anyway, isn't it? It's
Yeah, it's
quite
huge.
deceptive. It's deceptive. When you look at it on the map screen, you think, oh, okay, that's not that big. But when you're actually
Yeah,
in
then
it,
then you start running, and you're like, oh, that's the ways. Yeah.
exactly. It's a massive. Yeah, that'd be really good if there's a large map on Japan. I don't know when it's when obviously they're working on it. I don't know any rumors apart from that, to be honest.
I've been trying to keep up with it, but I don't think there's a date at all. I think they're working on a movie too, based on the first game.
Yeah, no, I've heard that because I think development cycles on games, what if you're thinking of big games, it's normally about 5-6 years at the moment, isn't it? So if they're really putting all their work into it,
Yeah, it's at
so
least
we're
5 or 6.
yeah, exactly. So we're looking our way up, but hey, it'll be worth it when it comes out. We'll be ready. We'll
Oh,
be
for
ready.
sure.
So they obviously put a lot of things in the games. They do a lot of work in the games. They iron out bugs and bits and pieces. But we have to credit you with finding one of the best glitches in the game. So we couldn't talk about Ghost of Tsushima without mentioning you discovering and putting out there about the distance glitch in photo mode. So you taught me how to do it and asked you about it. It's absolutely awesome, and it's become a bit of a staple in Ghost of Tsushima VP. So how did you come about it? Were you just playing around? How did you discover it?
I'm not sure what really made me want to try it, but I remember one of the updates for the game. They made this where they added lethal difficulty in New Game Plus. That update, it did something to photo mode, and I remember I could enter photo mode and then exit, move a little bit, and enter, and the camera would stay where it was with the same settings.
Yeah.
And that was like a new thing. I remember I was like, oh, holy shit! I can now like adjust my guy a little bit and keep the settings. I don't have to reset them every time, which a lot of games make you do. If you exit and re-enter, it goes back to standard settings.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome. This is great. Now I can try to perfectly get that pose, or enter and exit photo mode about 5 times during an attack to see that perfect motion or whatever. Um, and so one moment I was like, wait a minute, I want to try to zoom out as far as I can and then inch away a little bit. So I would do that, and I would enter photo mode, go as far back as I could, exit, and then have Jin move like 4 steps away. Enter, exit, have Jin move 4 steps away. And I did that for a while, and I would get him like pretty far from the camera, considered to normal. Um, and I was like, this is a pretty tedious way to do it. So let me try just moving the camera itself. And I found out that if you move the camera as far back as you can, exit, re-enter, and move back, you only get like a foot in game further back. But if you do that 15 times in a row, it breaks the orbit of the camera and it recenters it wherever you were. So then you can move way further back every time you enter and exit. And you can infinitely zoom out. So far as I know, I've spent an hour zooming out and got the entire island in one shot one time.
Wow.
So the camera control is broken and you can just go as far as you want. The level of detail gets a little bad after too much zooming out, and that's just because of game processing and loading. But oh my God, you can get so many cool creative shots of landscapes, big groups of people, or just different angles compared to that original orbit. And it really opens up your creativity with that. And I don't know how or what made me really start doing it, but once I broke it, I was like, this is it. This is all I'm ever going to do from now on. So
Yeah.
like 90% of my shots are with that glitch and just full zoom in. It's
But
just something I like to do.
Exactly. But the good thing about it is you discovered it and you didn't think, oh, I tell you, I'm going to keep this to myself and just have some really cool shots. You shared it with everybody, which is
Well, yeah,
brilliant. Like,
people should have all the options. You know, it's fun.
exactly. And some of the shots you see with it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Especially those landscapes, like those over the mountain rolling hills and stuff. Oh my god! Shout out to Sucker Punch for that environmental design.
Oh, definitely. And the good thing is they haven't patched it. They haven't thought, oh, you're not supposed to do that. Let's patch it. They've like obviously seen the people do it and think, well, yeah, hell, why not?
I swear they've shared one of my posts about it, maybe, or at least it was photos with the zoom glitch. And I was like, okay, they know about it. Please don't patch it, but they didn't. So
Hey,
thankfully,
maybe in the next game they'll just put it in straight away.
God, I wish. You know how
Yeah.
much I wish for infinite camera control in every game I ever play.
Oh yeah, I think range is one of the things which if a photo mode has poor range. I mean, let's to talk about Resident Evil 4 then. So Resi 4, decent
Last of
game.
Us, yeah.
Oh, the range, and even
The
Final
Last of Us
Fantasy
kind of.
16.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, sorry.
no, even Final Fantasy 16, like you're saying, The Last of Us, it's range. Give us range.
I know. I just need like 20 more feet, man. Come on.
Because I think it was Deathloop that Shinobi, when he was doing that with them, said, "Look, we just need range," and the range
Oh
in
yeah,
Deathloop is insane.
he helped them develop photo mode, didn't he?
Exactly, and the range are definitely we need good range. So if you're listening, Sucker Punch in Ghost of Tsushima 2, give us a nice bigger range,
Please,
infinite
like,
range.
yes,
We'll be
you might as
happy.
well just include the glitch. Go ahead.
Exactly, include the glitch. And I think B on Twitter was asking about that question as well. So everybody like loves the fact that you found it and shared it
Cool,
and using
good.
it. And do you have
I
any?
love seeing the results. I love seeing everybody else use it because it's like, wow, that's so cool. I figured that out, and these people are enjoying it. So that's just my perspective on it. I know some people like to hide away their secrets, but I don't think it's a good way to help others grow by not telling them your tips.
Exactly, you've got to share and help and learn with other people. It's the only way others can learn from other people, isn't it? If you share and bits and pieces, which is moves me on to our next question. So obviously, being Ghost of Tsushima, absolute legend. Um, do you have any hints and tips for people playing Ghost of Tsushima and how to catch decent shots in the game?
Yeah, just play around, man. There's so many settings people ignore in photo modes. I know that Samurai Red filter's feeling a little left out compared to like the vivid color filter by most people. I'm sure they hardly use that. But if you just tweak or adjust your brightness and contrast, then hit that Samurai filter at like 15%, you get a really nice, warm, almost sun bleached Polaroid effect, at least
Yeah,
in my opinion. And so you have to adjust everything a little bit just to learn what it does. Um, because with what's that one photo mode that had a whole lot? Days Gone, I think,
yeah,
had like an expert mode where there's way too much for me to understand.
yeah,
But I've tried. I messed with a whole bunch of the settings, and it's cool. Once you adjust just a little one and then another one a little bit, it can change a lot more than you think. So play around. Have fun with all of the settings and just see what they really do. But let me try to find some other tips. One would be if you want to add particles or get a good lightning strike in your photo, I would recommend just as soon as you start the game, enter photo mode and turn off animated environment and then go back to your game.
yeah,
Because once you do that, it kind of leaves it off for the rest of time. You can run around and then enter photo mode and it's off. And what I like about that is if you're doing some kind of motion or an attack or you're running on the horse or it's windy, you'll see the clothing or the hair kind of moving in the wind. Whereas once the animated effect is on, it just drops down, gravity takes it over. So you kind of lose that motion in the shot. Um, and so I think it's better to leave that off unless you're really trying to like add particle effects or some decent weather in there. And speaking of turning off the animated environment, if you leave it off, go to the weather setting, change it to lightning if it's not already on it. If it is, turn it off and then back on to lightning and then switch that animated environment on and off real fast, you might catch a lightning bolt because every time you switch to the lightning weather, it prepares a thunder crack and a lightning shot to happen as soon as you exit photo mode.
yeah.
Um, so if you're trying to get like a cool lightning shot, just switch on and off from lightning weather or off and then on to lightning weather and then switch your animated environment on and off real fast and you might catch that lightning in there. because otherwise it's like impossible to do it if you're just leaving the environment on.
That's a
Kind of
really
leaving
good
it up.
tip.
Oh, thank you. You're like leaving it up to chance if you don't do that animated environment switch. And let me think about something else. I guess the last one I would say is try going out of bounds in Legends mode, right on the edge of it,
Yeah.
and open photo mode. And I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I just want you all to go see for yourselves because there's just some really cool effects if you're
Yeah,
right out of bounds.
I've seen your shots of those. It does look really cool.
I'm going to leave it a little bit of a surprise for the listeners. I want them to go find out if they have
Yeah,
the game.
definitely, definitely. And I know I've tried ages trying to get lightning shots, and I think my mistake is having the animated environment on in the first place. So if I turn that off, as soon as I turn it on, that should help me out a little bit.
Yes, sir. If you switch right off and back on to lightning first, and then turn your environment on and off real fast, you should catch some lightning. But
So
if you
what?
don't, be prepared to hear lightning over and over until you try. So,
Oh yeah, no, definitely, definitely. And what's your and Uko from Uko VP from Twitter says, "What's your favourite tool in the photo mode?" Because obviously there's a lot of tools in the photo mode for Ghost of Tsushima. What's your favourite tool?
I'm going to say the zoom. Once you zoom in a lot, you get some really cool details. They did not spare time on details in this game. Like the armors look so good, the weapons look so good, the environment's great. And once you zoom in enough with a good angle and a good distance from your camera, you can get some really nice detailed shots. And yeah, field of vision and depth of field are probably my favorite tools.
Yeah. I think that what you said earlier about testing all the settings and changing them, exploring them. I think when people get into VP, let's say you're first starting out on VP, you want to get in, you want to take a really cool picture, and you want to get out. But as you start to progress the VP, you learn that okay, you do need to tweak it, and you realise how much variation of shot or composition or that all the settings have. 'Cause I always used to be a really quick snapper because I want to, got kids, I want to get in, take a shot, get out, or the
Yeah.
kids start kicking off. But yeah, definitely explore all the settings, whether it's Ghost of Tsushima or any other games. I think a lot of people would try and get shots really quickly, but taking time over exploring all the bits and pieces will obviously help you work overall, won't it?
Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned being a quick snap because when I first started, I would just take them real quick. I wouldn't mess with the settings too much. Um, and then there was about a chunk of a good year in the middle of my beginning time to now where I was taking like 20, 30 minutes on a shot. I was trying to get it perfect. I was trying to line it up exactly how I wanted to, get the framing and all that. And now I'm like in the middle. I'll have a
Yeah,
general idea of, I think I want to do this kind of shot. And then I'll just go pump out one or two and, that one's okay. I try not to be too critical of myself anymore. Whereas I was spending half an hour on a shot thinking, oh, this isn't going to look right. I don't like it. But I've gotten past that point. Now it's just enjoy it, take the photo, share it, and see if anyone else likes it. If they don't, whatever. You know?
exactly. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's the key. That's the key. It makes me
Yeah, I
glad
don't want.
sometimes to be a console player and not a PC player. Because if I had PC tools to play around with, that would do my head in. I'd take far too long to take a picture.
Oh, for sure. I'm thankful that I don't have a gaming PC because I would have far too many games with far too many shots. I wouldn't even play the game. I would just be a photographer the whole time.
Oh, exactly. But I suppose the one thing I do like is the fact that if it's on Unreal Engine 4, I think it is, you can just use the tools all the time. That's the one thing that makes me jealous when it's a game that doesn't have a photo mode. But
Yeah, like
yeah,
Elden Ring, especially. All of you people taking awesome Elden Ring photos, I'm very jealous. Just so you know.
exactly. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with crouching against walls trying to get pictures.
Yeah, killing everything or hoping it doesn't get to you real fast. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or you get your telescope out to take a picture of an enemy, and then it's like on top of you, like killing you. You have to start again. Oh dear.
I
Hey,
know.
maybe they'll add one in with the DLC.
God, I hope. I doubt it though. They're not too keen on giving people that play the game a pause button, so I really doubt that's going to happen.
One day they progress to open world. Let's see if they can progress to photo modes. But we will see. We will see.
I'm hoping Armored Core has one because apparently you can switch your build in the middle of the missions. So that seems like a start button to me, like a little pause button, but I don't know. You may have to find a safe spot to do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's far too tense taking pictures in Elden Ring. Far too
Oh,
tense.
no. I agree.
So, Ghost of Tsushima aside, what are your other favourite games to play and capture?
I'm a bit of a favoritist when it comes to video games. I don't have way too many in my catalog. So I'm going to say definitely Horizon, either Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. They're both beautiful games. And plus, something about the setting, my obsessions with dinosaurs as a kid and robots really just amps up the enjoyment. And come on, Aloy's a freaking babe and a badass. So why would I not want to take pictures of her? Uh,
Definitely.
the
And
machines are awesome. Go ahead.
the PM is so good as well.
It
It's
is,
such a good
and you can
PM.
make her do the little poses and stuff. I always thought that was cool. But the machines are amazing. The environment's incredible. The main character and others are wholesome. It's really awesome. I love that franchise. Gorilla's killing it out there. I really do like to try to take pictures in From Software games. I don't know how well they turn out, but I like trying to take them. I have shared quite a few in the past. But it's really rewarding once you finally get a good shot and you realize you're not getting killed every 5 seconds. So that's another fun game for me to try to capture those FromSoft games.
Oh yeah, I tried to play Cynthia and Nick, I think it was when we were talking before, convinced me to try Bloodborne. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to go into this. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to take some pictures. Yeah, I just got killed over and over and over again.
Yeah, I think that's Cynthia's favorite game, if I had to guess. Cynthia, if I'm wrong, let me know, but I think it is.
I think it is. I think it is. And I know every time they rumor they're going to do a remake, Cynthia gets excited, and then it's not going to happen.
Those
It'll happen
rumors
one
happen
day.
every 2 years. I'm over them.
So Horizon, and I think you do Last of Us shots as well.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Have I seen you doing the Last of Us shots as well?
Oh, yeah. The Last of Us is great, but I like playing the games more than capturing them in that. I don't know how to explain that other than the photo mode can be frustrating at times.
Yeah.
So I more or less play them more, and I'll get a shot when I feel like I have a chance. But I don't go out there thinking I'm going to get some Last of Us shots today. That's usually never the case for my person. It's like I'm going to go play it and get some shots while I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's that orbit camera, isn't it? That orbit camera just is a
Yep,
killer.
it bugs the shit out of me, and I can't get over it.
Oh, I know. And it's the same in Cyberpunk, wasn't it? And I can't remember what the game was playing the other
I
day.
haven't played Cyberpunk, so I don't know. But sorry, Naughty Dog, if anyone from there listens ever to this, I apologize.
Well, let's see. Next game that comes out, there might be that progression um, from away from orbit cam to free cam, but we'll
God, I
see.
hope.
Oh, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I don't know what's coming out for them next because it was supposed to be the multiplayer, wasn't it?
I think, but we haven't heard about it. I believe.
Yeah, no news yet. No news is good news though.
Let's agree.
Exactly. So we've also chatted to previous guests about their involvements with community pages on Twitter and bits and pieces, but I want to talk to you about a page you run on Facebook. Um, it's a bit of a random one, but
It is.
it's gathered quite a following. I think over 12,000 followers in just over a year. If I'm
It's a
correct.
little under a year, actually.
11. Okay, I've got my numbers a little bit wrong. But can you tell the people listening and people catching up later what the page is about and how it came about?
If we must, I'll go over it. I'm just kidding. I've been a bit of a memer for a few years now. I've helped run a few meme groups on Facebook just out of boredom and fun, and making some of my own that have gone extinct got me making little dumb edits of random video games and movie scenes and whatever. Um, I'm in a group called Dark Souls Seath posting on Facebook, which is ridiculous. It's all Dark Souls memes. But once Elden Ring was announced, I made this dumb meme about Alexander standing next to Forrest Gump, and I put the caption "Day one of question mark question mark question mark of adding Alexander into movie scenes until Elden Ring is announced, and or until Elden Ring DLC is announced."
Yeah.
And I posted it on Reddit too, and it absolutely blew up on Reddit, and that Facebook group loved it. It just got huge. It was a dumb joke to me at the time because there's been a lot of those stupid countdown things in the past. I was just making like a reference to that type of meme,
Mm.
and it blew up on there. So I started doing day 2, day 3, day 4, and after that, the Reddit or the subreddit banned me. They were like, no more countdowns, and Seath posting was like, don't do this. We don't want everyone to start doing this spam memes and whatever. So I was like, but the people like it. I need to do this. So I made a page called Adding Alexander into Movie Scenes until Elden Ring DLC is announced, which is what it was called. Since it's announced, it's now until it's released. And that's all I do. I take Alexander from Elden Ring and I put him in various media and count the days until we finally get Elden Ring. But people like it. And I think it's fun to do every now and then. It's
What's your
dumb, but it's fun. It's dumb
what's your
fun.
favorite one? What's your favorite one that you put Alexander in?
Probably Happy Gilmore. At the end, when Bubs and an alligator and someone else is waving to him in the sky, I put Alexander next to them. But I don't know. That's my personal favorite. I'm sure everyone has their own, but I like it. It's fun to do.
Exactly. It's a bit of harmless fun, isn't it? And it just makes people laugh, doesn't it? Definitely.
Yeah, I like making people laugh.
So,
It's a hobby.
and we'll get to that in a minute. We've got another question around that. How funny you are, bless you.
Oh, thanks.
So before we get to like your process of VP, we've got the new favorite question of everybody's. What is your favorite food? What do you like to eat?
Hmm. Well, it's a tie between real, authentic street tacos or stuffed grape leaves, also known as dolma. Do you know what those are?
No idea. It's stuffed grape leaves. Never heard of it.
Yeah. So I'm a bit Middle Eastern from my dad's side, and
Yeah.
my grandmother used to make these things called stuffed grape leaves, or dolma, which is the correct name, and I love them. So you take the leaves from a grapevine, you wash them and you spread them out, and then you take lamb or beef, cook it, some rice that's been soaked, and then spices like cumin, allspice, cinnamon, and such, and mash it up into a little hot dog shape. Put it in the grape leaf and wrap it up nice and tight like a cigar. And then you stack a bunch in a pot, fill it with water, put a plate on it so they don't float, and boil it for like, well, not boil it, cook it for about 2, 3, 4 hours. And they're just, oh my God, they're just these steamed, boiled meat and rice and spice little kind of reverse sushi, but cooked. It's a Middle Eastern food. I love them. They taste great. You should look them up. They're amazing, especially with a little lemon on top and some salt. But
They do sound amazing.
they're great.
Um,
But tacos are tied for number one. Nothing beats a good taco.
I love tacos. I love tacos. So do you make your own tacos? Do you go?
There's a food truck about 10 minutes from me with cheap, undeniably delicious tacos. If anyone's making them, it's going to be them.
See,
But I
over
still
here,
really want to try this kangaroo fajitas. I want to try those one day.
yeah, Troy needs to hook us up.
I know. I need to try those. Send some
So,
in the mail, man. It'll be good by the time it gets here.
oh, I don't know. You know
No.
how long it'll take to get from Australia. That I don't really fancy cooking and eating that kangaroo steak after going through the post.
Yeah, just put it next to a chunk of dry ice. It'll make it.
Nice, nice. Because I have tacos over here, but our tacos over here are quite boring. They're literally
I'm sorry.
yeah, they're just like pre-packed, and then you just put a load of meat in it, and they're nice. Don't get me wrong, I love them, but I don't think they're very authentic. So
No, you need the like pico de gallo in there. You need the jalapeno chunks. You need all that for a real good taco. A little bit of radish on the side.
oh, you're making me hungry now.
Mm.
Making
I'm
me
hungry
hungry.
too. As soon as this is over, I'm going to get tacos. So
Oh, see, I'm sitting in the kitchen at the moment, and there's a couple of people on here listening who's probably going to laugh, but we've got a little food group called Food Porn, where we basically just send each other pictures of our food. Um, and I keep going on about how my wife's got a recipe book for a slow cooker, which sounds really boring, like I'm like 60. But
no way.
we're going through the recipe book each week and picking a new recipe and doing it. And tonight is chicken korma.
Yum.
So
I
I'm
think crock pots are great, man. You can get great chili or roasts out of those things. There's nothing wrong with using one of those.
oh, it's brilliant. And I'm literally sat here. It's been cooking for 4 hours, and all I can smell is curry.
Just
So yeah,
salivating, huh?
yeah, it's making me hungry, making me hungry. And now we're talking about tacos and 1 week old kangaroo steak in the post. It's
Okay, moving on.
yeah, let's move on a little bit. Let's move on. Cool. So back to VP. We've probably touched on this a little bit. whether you're a spontaneous snapper or whether you plan what you're getting to shoot. So you sound like you've been on a bit of a journey of getting them quickly, taking a long time, and now you're in the middle. Do you generally plan what you're going to take, or do you just go play the game and then see something nice and then start your process?
And now that I've been doing it for a few years, it's 50-50. I'll play the game to progress the story and get some side missions done and just organically get some pictures while cruising through the story or environment. It's like, oh, you know what, this is a good spot, that kind of thing. Uh, for example, a lot of my first playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima was just running around doing all the side missions and the main missions and taking pictures as I was going.
Yeah.
Um, but if I've beaten the game, especially like Tsushima, because I've played it like 5 times by now, um, I'll go in with a thought. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot from a door frame where it's all black background. I'll go and take like 5 of those.
Mm.
Um, or I'll be like, I'm going to go get some landscape shots and I'll just pump those out and turn it off and go play Rocket League for half an hour. I don't know. But sometimes, like if I get a new armor or a new outfit or a new area in a video game, I'll definitely take some time to appreciate them and get some pictures of them. But like you said, it's been a bit of a journey. It started off as just taking them real quick, and then it was planning and going with all the daily themes on Twitter and Facebook and all those. But now I don't really participate in those too much. I do gamergrams every now and then, or or the Captured Collective. I love their themes. Those are always very good.
Mm.
Um, so those are really the only ones I really much plan anymore. The rest of the time, it's more organic. Ooh, this is a good idea. I'm already here, kind of deal.
And do you have to find when you beat a game? I mean, let's put Ghost of Tsushima aside because you absolutely love it. But if you finish a game, do you have to like motivate yourself to go back in and play it again? I think that's one thing I struggle with. If I finish a game, I have all the intentions of going back in and getting loads more shots, taking it slow and that kind of thing. But then I just kind of get a little bit bored.
Yeah, I think it depends on the game, really. And I know that's very subjective slash not a good answer, but like Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. I
Um,
platinumed that game the very first time I played it. I got a platinum right when I beat it. So now when I turn that game on, it's kind of like I'll just get some pictures every now and then. I'll run to another area and get a picture if I do, but I've already beaten the crap out of it. I've done everything in it, so it's kind of like I'll do something else, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I do find a little bit of a struggle of I've done everything in this game, why go back? But except for Tsushima, I'm obsessed.
Yeah, but we're glad you're obsessed with that. And we love your shots of Shima.
Well,
So,
thank you.
no, but I'm glad somebody else feels the same because I think that's one thing I struggle with. I play a game at a time and I play that game to death, post all the VP, and then I move on to the next game. I find it very hard to like mix in between and go back bits of it. So it's
Yeah.
nice that somebody else has that kind of thought a little bit as well.
Or I'll get distracted. Like Kina, I still haven't beaten Kina Bridge of Spirits. It is a wonderful game. Ember Lab is great. Awesome little environment, and I love the animation. It's very cartoony, but not in a bad way. Like I'd
Yeah.
love taking pictures in that game, but I just get so distracted. Where, like I said, I'm a bit of a favoritist. So Tsushima will be turned on, or Spider-Man will get turned on, or Elden Ring will get turned on, and then poor little Kina sitting in the side, like it's been 3 months.
Oh,
Please come help me play.
it's a brilliant game. You need to finish it. It is a
I
really,
know. I
I
think
love
I'm
that
right
game.
before the Toshi fight. I think so. I
Oh,
need to
yeah,
finish it because I think he's near the end, isn't he?
yeah.
Don't spoil it. Actually, don't spoil it.
No, if I remember correctly, potentially yes. Potentially yes. They need to make a sequel, or Ember Labs need to make something else because that game was a beautiful game.
It was, man. It was awesome. I need to finish it still, but everything I've played so far has been great.
Well, yeah, you have to come back to us and tell us what you thought of the end.
I will.
So, Josh on Twitter has also asked, "What's your favourite type of VP?" So, people tend to fall into kind of like styles or kind of things. So,
Yeah.
whether it's landscape, portraits, abstract, that kind of thing. What's your favourite type of VP? Or do you flip between different genres or different styles?
Hmm. That's hard to answer. I like to try to take different types of photos, but once I look through my catalog, there is a bit of a style. I think it's kind of a lone hero type vibe. I don't know how else to describe that. I really love those pictures where it's like just the character in a scenery,
Yeah.
um, where it's like the main character walking into the sunset, or they're standing at the foot of a big mountain, or there's some kind of challenge ahead of them. I like the kind of one versus the world kind of photo, if that makes any sense.
You like to kind of tell, character VP, but you want to tell a story with it.
Yeah.
That kind of
So you could nail the wording better than me, but I do love a good environment shot. I do love the action shots, but I really like those just stoic, I'm here, I'm gonna go take on the world kind of things. I don't know how else to
Yeah,
how
no,
else to really phrase it.
no, that's cool, man. And do you prefer doing portrait shots or landscape shots?
Hmm. I was stuck doing landscapes for like my first year of photo mode because I didn't know you could turn the camera sideways. But once I did, I love portrait shots. They're because I like putting them as my phone background. That's probably why I love taking portraits way more. And plus, they fill up your phone on Twitter. You don't have to like turn it sideways to look at it. So that's more of
Yeah.
like an ease of enjoyment on my side.
Yeah.
But I like portraits more than landscapes, I think.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I've always been a portrait kind of guy, and I've tried experimenting with landscape shots recently, so people will probably see that I've tried to do landscapes. I don't know. I like to get in and see the detail. I like to, with
Yeah,
with
that's exactly it.
with the sets, they look good. They do look good, but sometimes they look a bit busy. I want to be able to like really get into that detail. If you're trying to take a picture, let's say Jin, for instance, we're trying to take a picture of him with a decent mask on and bits and pieces. I want to get in there and see it
Oh,
and
for
get
sure.
the detail.
And the portraits let you get the whole armor set rather than just like the top half if you're really zooming in. So
Exactly.
I know what you're saying, and I agree.
Yeah. So, but I'm trying to experiment. I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. I've
Hmm.
been in the
Good
comfort
on you.
zone for far too long.
Good on you.
Because I think it's very easy to get trapped in a style or in a kind of a certain, whether it's a certain game or certain kind of thing. And I think you can learn more sometimes if you get outside your comfort zone. But it's difficult getting
Absolutely.
in your comfort zone sometimes. Definitely difficult.
Yeah, kind of a rut. Like, oh, I know this type of shot looks good, so I'll just keep doing that. I know what you mean.
Exactly. And I mean, we all see it, whether it, whatever game it is, we won't
Or
say how.
like, or like back in the day when I was like chasing and I got one photo with like 1,000 likes, so I would try to replicate it.
The
But
thing is, though, when you start VP, or even like when you've been doing VP, well, it is an easy trap to fall into because we talked about it a lot with talking with other people on here as well. Is we're on social media. Social media is around followers, it's around likes. So you want to have followers, you want to have likes, but it's finding that balance between being hooked on wanting the likes and getting the likes, or thinking, okay, I'm putting it on here because I love it. If people like it, hey, it's good. If they
yeah,
don't, I love it. It's a difficult balance.
yeah. Like about a year and a half ago, I think Sucker Punch shared one of my posts for the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god, whatever I did there, do it all the time." And just I kind of got into a rut of trying to recreate those photos in a different outfit or a different spot. And I was like, I need them to like my post again. It was like a couple months where I was like drooling because Sucker Punch liked my post, and I don't know. It was kind of a vain way to look at it, in my opinion, after a while. And I was like, whatever. If they share it again, that's cool. I got over it after a
I
couple
think
months. But
the thing is, though, if it's a game you really love, to get, whether it's a like, a follow, or a retweet by the developer who makes the game, it's such a high. It does give you such a high to get recognised, but it's also, you're then craving that again.
yeah, but it's also humbling at the same time,
Yeah.
because you're like, holy crap, these guys spent years on this and they actually like what I just did. Wow, that's cool. Like, it's like anyone can do that. Anyone, if they try, could make a good photo, and anyone can like it. You don't have to hope to please anybody. It's just it will happen eventually.
Exactly, and I think I've after I spoke to Ruben, I've took some of his advice of tagging people who made the game in it, so not just the studio tagging, like whether it's a lighting artist, the combat person, or whoever it is, um, and getting some really good feedback. And I put a picture up this morning of a character from Final Fantasy. It didn't do well with likes, But to be honest, I didn't care because the voice actress who played the character commented saying she loved it.
That's awesome, dude. That's cool. I'm gonna have to go back and check your profile after this.
I think it was when I was talking to Sarah. It's you can go and get 1,000 likes, but who's liked it? What does it
Yeah.
what does it mean to you? If you got like 500 bots liking something just to because they bots love doing stuff like that, or if you get 10 likes and like that one today, the voice actress said she liked it. That to me means more than getting 500 likes, 1,000 likes.
Oh, absolutely. And especially if some of my favorite VP friends on here that a lot of them are listening right now. But if I see them start to like my stuff, I'm like, I've done my job. Like I've pleased the people that make me proud of their shots. So I'm happy with it.
Exactly.
But if I get to show off just a little bit, I think Suma Lee, who played Yuna, I think the guy that played Jin, I mean, not Jin, Ryuzo, and the cinematographer and someone else from Sucker Punch follow me, and they like my post pretty regularly. So I'm going to show off with that just real quick.
No, but the thing is, though, definitely. I mean, I find it very hard on Twitter. I mean, it's very easy to see when people follow you because it comes up in your notifications. But I find it very difficult to see whether anybody like that likes your pictures and bits and pieces. Unless you check every notification, that kind of thing, it can get lost in the mist of notifications. And
Yeah.
if you go back into everybody liked the picture, it's very hard to see. Unless you go on to, let's say you went onto Jin's Twitter and you looked at specific things he's liked. For me, I find that's the easiest way to see if someone you've tagged like that likes your picture. They don't make it very easy to see, do they?
No, but I know that they've shared it, and uh, Yuna's voice actress and character model would like do a little quote tweet. She would say, because I would do like Monday. I would do like a picture of Yuna for Mugshot Monday, and then she would be like, "Mugshot would work because she's a thief" or something like that. So
Yeah,
the quote tweets give you a little more of a notification rather than just getting lost with the rest of them.
exactly. But no, dude, we've got to shout out about these things. It's really cool when these things happen. These people who build the games that we love capturing. It's great when you get followed by them and things like that. Why not shout about it?
Yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm not trying to be a hoity-toity look at me, but I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Definitely, man, definitely. So we touched on this with Tsushima. Of what's your go-to setting when you enter a photo mode? Is that generally the same for all games, or when you use other PMs apart from Tsushima, do you have a favorite setting that you go to first, or is it always range?
Oh, first things first in any game, I go turn the brightness up and the contrast up. I,
Yeah,
I just I just want more deep difference between the bright and the dark in any photo. Um, and I always turn that contrast up and then mess with the brightness so it looks decent to me. But field of view is also really fun. If you really want to focus in on one thing in the picture, you can blur out everything else. So I'd say contrast and field of view are my go-tos. If I'm not using a filter or if I'm not trying to add any environment or anything in the background, it's contrast and field of view. Those are my go-tos.
definitely, definitely. The light and the dark is always the best thing to get right first, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
do you
otherwise, it's all kind of washed out, and you're like, that didn't turn out like I hoped.
definitely, definitely. And do you find in some games? I find in a lot of games recently, um, I use Final Fantasy as an example because that's what I'm playing at the moment. Is the brightness and darkness and brightness in some games at the moment. You go into a dark place and it's so dark you can hardly see anything. And
I
then when you
know what
go,
is up with Hollywood doing that, man. Like in TV shows too. That's been a real bad problem, especially with like Game of Thrones and House of Dragons. They would do those dark scenes. You couldn't see anything.
exactly, and I'm
So
like, I'm watching or playing this, and I really can't see anything.
they expect everyone to have a freaking home theater and no lights on, I guess. But man,
Definitely,
yeah, I know
definitely.
exactly what you mean. Some of those dark spots in some video games, you're like, I cannot see shit.
I thought it was just my old eyes. I thought something's going wrong with my eyesight here. I can't see things properly.
Yeah, I'm also 30 something, so that's part of it.
But I think whether it's I turned up my TV brightness, I turned up the game brightness, and then it just looked washed out. And then it was
Yeah.
the flip side of I take a photo and then I'm having to really turn the contrast up and play with the brightness and bits and pieces. But I think it's difficult, isn't it?
So in
But
every game, when you start and they have that adjust the slider to where the thing is barely visible at the
yeah,
beginning, Oh, my shit's like 3/4 of the way up every time. I need to see that thing. I do not want to have a problem seeing it. That's how it always is for me.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I'm on the same page, man. I'm on the same page.
yeah, so I do understand the washed out kind of feeling. Some games can really can do that for you, but thank God for those contrast sliders.
Maybe we've both just got really bad eyes.
Probably, but let's not blame it on us.
Exactly. So, do you obviously you explore the settings in the photo modes and play with the intensities, mess around the settings? Do you post edit your shots? If you do, what software apps do you use? And talk us a little bit through your process.
I used to do it a lot more than I do now. I had a few free apps and I would try different things, but now I'm just throwing a bit of extra contrast touches with Snapseed. The free version, I don't pay for it or anything. I just do it on my phone. I send myself an image on PlayStation messages, which thank God for Marco. If he's listening or ever hears this, I know he's canceled his PS Plus account, but he has let me send thousands of pictures to him so I could download them from my phone. And I appreciate him very much. But I'll just send like a message with some photos to him. I'll open up my PS app on my phone, download it, open up Snapseed, and I'll just go to. I think Cynthia told me this trick. It's I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's tonal balance is the
Mhm.
tool, and I'll turn up the low balance just so you can get a little more detail in those dark areas because they can get lost sometimes when you turn up that contrast. So I'll turn up the contrast in the game to get more of a depth between the brightness and the darkness, and then I'll post edit a little more detail into the dark areas. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, but it turns out better in my opinion. And
Oh.
I don't find too much joy in having to edit the photo anymore to feel good about it. I'd rather
Mm.
just snap the photo and go, "This is good." So that's kind of the point where I'm at now. Half of the time I don't edit it. The other half of the time I'll just throw a little extra contrast on there and post it. I don't do too much anymore. I used to add filters and try to do all these different filters, but I don't do that anymore. I let the game kind of speak for itself these days.
Yeah, it's a good way to be, though, isn't it? Because the games are beautiful enough. I'm a terrible post editor. I think
But
I think it's because I take pictures too quickly because I get limited time to play. Because having
nah, don't say that.
no, I do. I do. I literally I play for what an hour, a couple of hours on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when my wife's watching something else. Um, so I get limited time because of the kids and bits
Yeah.
and pieces. So I have an idea in my head of the shot. I quickly snap the shot, and then I post edit the other stuff in afterwards or tweak what I needed to tweak, which I could have probably done in game if I had more time. But yeah, I'm terrible for it.
No, I mean I understand. You want to play the game. You don't want to just sit there and look at it the whole time. So I understand where you're coming from. But also you see people like Bianca out here throwing so much color and Lightroom into that to make it perfect. And oh my God, I wish I had the skill to do those edits because I don't have the patience to learn all these different apps. And they can come out looking like it was made as promotional material if you spend enough time on it. And kudos to those guys that use Lightroom and Photoshop and really dig in to the post editing because I don't have the patience and you guys are awesome. But
Yeah,
it's
I
I
mean,
wish I did. I wish I did because I could take them to the next level if I really spent the time.
Lightroom is actually very easy to use. I've only very recently switched to using Lightroom and discovered presets. And I literally just Google presets for Lightroom, and you can get lots of different presets. And you literally just press one button and it puts it on the whole photo. It's like magic.
Hmm. Well, I might check it out then. But
It's,
don't make me
it's
take more time in photos, man. Come on. I've been cutting down lately.
I suppose it's like when we're talking earlier about learning, new things and bits and pieces like that. Is you know, if you want to, whether it's learning to edit or learn to take a different type of shot, because there's loads of people we talk to. I think I asked Sarah about presets and bits and pieces, and I've asked other people. But yeah, man, if you ever want to have a go at Lightroom and got any questions, drop me a message, man. It's easier than it looks.
Okay. I'll remember that. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. So there's lots of games out this year. We've got some really good games coming out for the rest of the year. What are you looking forward to playing and capturing that's not been released yet?
None, because I don't have a fucking PS5.
Oh
No, I'm
no.
just kidding. Yeah, I need to update. Like I said, I've always been a console behind, and I actually bought that PS4 like the month they announced PS5, of course. So I've been sitting on that PS4 for a while, but hopefully some games come out with the dual console compatibility. I know Armored Core 6 is going to come out with PS4 version, and so is the Elden Ring DLC. So I'm really excited to hopefully try to get some shots out of those. But when I do get a PS5 eventually, hopefully,
Yeah.
I plan on getting Jedi Survivor, Demon Souls, Spider-Man 2, maybe the Avatar game when it comes out because the environment just looks stunning.
Oh, that looks sick, didn't it? That looks sick, that game.
Yeah, that looks like I could get lost for hours in photo mode with that. It just looks unreal. It's like the movie, but you're playing it, and that's going to be so cool once I finally get my hands on a PlayStation 5. But yeah, I always have my few favorites I fall back on, like Ghost and Elden Ring. But looking forward to the PS5 once I get it, definitely Jedi, Demon Souls, and Spider-Man 2 are the ones I'm looking forward to.
So, have you got any plans on the horizon to get the PS5?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, if
But I'm looking
anybody
forward to
listening
it.
here has any contacts at PlayStation who want to hook Leroy up with a free PS5, send your
Yeah,
contacts his way. Let's do it.
I'll shout you out every day in my posts. Let's do it.
Let's start a petition. PS5 for Leroy.
Hey, I'm not going to deny or fight against that. So go ahead.
You're like, no, yeah, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
Yeah,
Definitely.
please.
So also, a little bird tells me that you are a bit of a awesome jazz guitarist. Is that how long have you been playing? And do you play in a band? I was just going to say, do you just play with yourself? But then that sounded really bad.
Yeah, don't word it that way. We call those bedroom concerts.
Yeah,
But
let's not get onto that subject. So you play jazz guitar. How long have you been playing? Do you play in a band?
I dabble, I have to say it. But I was a music major in college, and I learned how to play trumpet through middle school and going on through my collegiate career. I was a music major, like I just said, so I've had music in my life for a while. My parents played guitar and piano, and they're both very talented. So it's kind of in my blood, I guess you could say. But started in middle school with trumpet, and then I taught myself to play bass and guitar and piano throughout high school and college. And I've kind of put the trumpet on the side. It felt more like work to me some years ago than enjoyment. So I've been more of a guitarist and bassist these days. But I had access to 9-foot grand pianos when I was running a performance hall for a few years. So I got to play a lot of piano in downtime, and I pretty much taught myself how to play a lot of these instruments. And I just have a lot of fun doing it. It's more of a personal enjoyment kind of expression tool rather than, or what's the word I'm looking for? Relaxation tool, I would say.
Yeah.
I've played guest spot at some concerts. I've been in the school concerts and the ensembles for college and stuff, but I've never really been in a band, unfortunately. I was for 2 weeks in high school, but then the singer wanted to play bass again, so I got kicked out. But I guess my biggest claim to fame musically was I played in a basement party in 2010 with Pigeons playing ping pong. And I'm pretty sure they were at Bonnaroo or Coachella this year. I can't remember which. So I got to play with a band that was up in a festival. So that's cool.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, just
really
a basement
cool.
party. We had them play at our university before they got pretty big, and I jammed in a basement with them for the whole night. So that was kind of cool.
Cool. So is the guitar your favorite one to play over all the others?
Definitely bass. It's you listen to any song and the bass is taken out, it sounds crappy.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to reword it other than the bass is the bones of the mix, and if you can lay a fat bass line, oh my god, I love it. Slap at a bass, it's my favorite.
And when you say you taught yourself a lot of these instruments, what do you use, like YouTube videos, books, or what?
Just playing around, just using my hands until it sounded good to me.
Yeah.
I didn't really do a lot of YouTube / what's the play along ads, that you get. I just kind of taught myself, and my dad gave me a little bit of tips because he was a guitarist. But after that, he was more like, "I don't know what you're doing. You're doing some weird jazz stuff. I'm gonna let you learn that." I kind of learned it on my own. He was more of an '80s hair metal kind of player.
Oh dear. Well, I've struggled to get through that whole conversation about music without making the joke about playing your own trumpet. But managed
Tooting
to
my
slip
own
in
horn.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, one of the musical influences I've always wanted to learn to play is guitar. I've actually got a guitar sat upstairs in my wardrobe. Um, I had guitar lessons, I think three lessons before my first daughter was born, and then she was born, and then the guitar lessons went out the window.
Yeah, it took a little side. Went to the
Yeah,
side, huh?
I really must pick it up. I'd really love
Don't
to
blame
play
you.
guitar.
It's never too late to learn, my man.
Man, it's never too late to learn. I have to make myself learn it.
That goes to the
So,
rest of you out here who want to learn music. Go for it. It's fun.
the thing is, though, like you're saying there, it's about it for you. It's kind of like a relaxation thing in bits and pieces. It doesn't always have to be like you want a musical career, you want to be in a band. You know,
No.
music is a very calming and relaxing thing, isn't it?
Yeah, do it for your own enjoyment, man. If you're not enjoying it yourself, what's the point?
Exactly. That's the key to everything, isn't it? Music, VP, all that. If you're not enjoying it yourself, what is the point?
Sounds a bit selfish, but you got to look out for number one. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. I agree with you. I agree with you. Let's touch on your earlier comment about memes,
Huh.
because the little birdie that told me about your jazz guitar also told me that you are a master memer. And I know we've touched on it, um, talking about the Alexander group. What for you makes a good meme? And do you have a favorite all-time meme? Because there's loads about. Some can be funny, some can be a bit crap. What makes a good meme for you?
Oh God, a sense of humor. To be honest,
It's a good
it
start.
really depends. It really depends on who's looking at the meme. I think,
Yeah.
because you could show one to your mom and she wouldn't get it. You could show it to your best friend and they would laugh for hours. You know,
Yeah.
so it's really the personal perspective, I think. But sometimes the dumbest things make me laugh way too hard. Like I'm sure at some point anyone with the internet and a tiny bit of meme culture has seen Bad Luck Brian, right?
Hmm.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's probably one of my top three favorite categories of memes because it's like happy guy, unfortunate circumstance. Like I don't know. I love that kind of thing. I'm also a huge fan of the mega Chad face that people use. I don't like the macho backwards thinking that it's used for half the time, but I love the sarcastic uses for it. And I don't know if I had to choose a favorite meme. I've had a soft spot for animals in places they shouldn't be, like that one where the horse is on the balcony and it just says Juan. I know, I know a lot of people probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's one of my favorite images on the internet. But really, what makes a good meme, in my opinion, is just something nonsensical with humorous intent. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be hateful. It doesn't need to be full of facts or references. Just something funny that's meant to make someone laugh. It doesn't need to be hateful. You know.
Exactly. And I think that's what they started out as, wasn't it? And that's what they're intended to be. But I think, yeah, like anything, it's been kind of twisted for, whether it's political or whatever information use and bits and pieces. It's just got to be funny. Just got to make you
Yeah.
laugh.
You just want to have a good time, man. I don't want to make some kind of political statement on my freaking Facebook. Just let me share an image of this cat falling off a tree, and then there you go. Like,
Yeah.
that's my opinion on it. But
Yeah, I have no political views. I don't want to get involved in that. But look at this cat. This is fun.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to go out there making statements with my memes. I just want it to be something to make someone smile. That's what makes a good meme. As long as the intent is good and it's humorous.
Exactly. Exactly. See, me personally, I'm a dad joke fan. Obviously,
Hey,
being a dad,
dad jokes are great.
um, me and Jack and dad jokes. Literally, we got some bad ones, but we got some good ones. We got some good ones.
Hey, give us an example.
Okay. I'll give you two examples. So the first one is what's better than eating a mandarin?
Oh God, I don't know.
Eating a mandarin. Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
that.
I know. I know. It's bad. A lot of my dad jokes do have a kind of crude edge to them.
Hey, puns are great, man. I don't hate them. I love them.
And what was the other one I heard the other day? Oh yeah, I found out the other day the actual medical name for Viagra. It's called my cock's a popping.
Jeez.
That's just as bad. That's just so Jack's going to be shaking his head. He'll be listening there, and he'll be like, how have you said that crap joke on this
How
interview?
dare you share our intimate dad jokes?
I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired now.
Nah,
Yeah,
you're not gonna get fired. Promote this man. Promote this man in the photo mode.
listen to this man, Jack. If you're listening, listen to him. Promote me. Um, okay, so we got the oldie but a goldie now. We've talked hints and tips for Ghost of Tsushima. And obviously, this doesn't have to be to do with photo modes, but what kind of hints and tips or advice have you got for people starting out in VP?
I would say just explore, man. Challenge yourself, try out a new angle or technique, push the boundaries on all the settings, go from the 0 to the 100 settings, see what it does. Just play around, man. Use them all to the fullest at least once just to see how much change one slider can really bring to your photo. There are several tools in these photo modes people barely touch, and I think just slight tweaks to anything can really bring more of a difference than you'd think it would. And more importantly, just have fun. Don't go out there thinking, "Oh my God, I have to get my daily post quota." Don't don't do that. It gets tiresome and unenjoyable. I spent a rut not too long ago where it was months of me not taking photos. I was posting old stuff I had, and it's well. First off, Elden Ring took over my life, and there's no photo mode in that game. But outside of that, I was there was times where I was like, "Oh yeah, let me hop on this game real quick, take 4 photos. I got to post them. Oh yeah, I got to get over here. I got 2 more photos I got to take." Like that's tiresome. You don't want to get into that headspace. So just make sure you don't make it to where it's a hassle to sit down and churn out a few photos just to post to some online thing. Do it because you are interested in doing it. Don't go out and take shots because you feel obligated. You know, you'll rush. You won't get the excitement needed for the artistry. Your work will probably start to reflect and start to get robotic after too long. So I think it's important to take a break if you start to get burnt out on it. And if you're in the thick of a session and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, just turn it off. Just go run around in the game. You know, have fun. Play the damn game. Don't sit there thinking don't sit there thinking I've got to take a photo for an hour, you know? Uh, so just daily and weekly challenges on Twitter are fun. They can be a good motivator to get you out there and get some more shots if you're in a rut. But we each have our own style, and it takes time to get used to what you want to do. And if you're in the same vein as that rut where I was saying earlier, like, I got to post it, just remember your reasons for why you enjoy it and try to do that. I think that's the most hints and tips I think I can give really outside of actual, stuff we've talked about earlier with technique and whatnot. But
Yeah.
my main freaking tip for anyone out there, if you get bored with it, just fucking stop. Go play a game that you like and then go back to photos later when you feel like it.
It's
Otherwise,
true.
yeah,
It's
go
true,
ahead.
man. It's true. I think there's so much pressure to put pictures out there. You've got to love it. To take the pressure away. If you want to post 5 times a day and you've got time to post 5 times a day, it doesn't feel pressured, fine. But you don't have to. You don't have
Yeah.
to do anything, do you? It's about
No,
what you love.
get
Simple.
out there, enjoy the game, and then maybe organically you run across something where you'll be like, oh, I want a picture of that. You know? So just
Yeah.
go out there and have fun, and then in the moment, your brain will click like, oh wait, this is a good picture spot. Oh, that's a good thing to get an image of, or this is a cool spot to get like some shadows on my guy. It's just as you're enjoying the game, you'll find reasons and places to get pictures of. So do it. Go out there and have fun. Don't just work and hate what you're doing. Make sure you're having fun with it. That's my main tip.
Exactly. And like you said, if you are in a rut and you do need a breakaway, just play the games. Even if it's a game without a photo mode, that's the best detox for me, is playing a game without a photo mode. Because you don't have a
Dude,
choice.
same. I play Rocket League way too often, and there is a photo mode if you go into the replays, but I hardly do that. And it's fun. It's just a fun thing I like to play every now and then sometimes I'll go, I'll go get some Tsushima shots, because I'll feel like it. It's not like I'm sitting there turning on the PlayStation after work, going, let me get my 4 photos done.
Yeah.
It's a moment to moment thing, and I think that's what's important about VP is the moments you're enjoying doing it.
Exactly, it is. And to be honest, I've got stuck in the moment because I normally give a 5-minute warning for people listening to ask their questions, and I completely forgot because I was too busy talking to you.
It's okay. We have at least 5 more minutes. I don't care. I have an hour.
No, that's cool, man. We got all the time we need. So, everybody listening, you've been really cool jumping on here and listening. Now is your chance, if you want to ask a question live, to send a request to speak, and you can ask Leroy a question directly. I'm looking at you, Jack and Cynthia. Don't let us down. Cynthia, you got to have a question.
Or Bianca or Jinx.
Or Bianca, yeah, or Jinx. Yeah, Lady J's on. Lady J's on. Come on, Lady A, you got to come on and tell us about your animals. Have you got
We're
any?
calling you out.
Got any new ones? Have you got any joy new that we don't know about? So if you want to ask a question, put in a request. Oh, somebody waved then. It made me think they were asking to do a question.
We're waiting.
I'm sure somebody will jump on in a minute. So what's your plans for the rest of the day? What are you doing next?
I'm gonna try to get my weed eater working because or weed whacker. I don't know how what your terminology is. But I think I put the wrong oil to gas mix in it, and I've got to I've got to try to fix it and get it working because my grass is getting a little high. But after this, I'm going to go get some lunch, eat it, and try to do some gardening.
Nice. Good one. Oh, we've got a request coming. We've got Ash Neo VP. Let's
Okay.
approve you, Ash, and you can come on and ask your question. Can you hear us? Oh, you put yourself on mute. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. How you
Hey,
doing?
what's up, guys? I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. How are
good,
you?
man.
I'm great. So for I have two questions for Leroy. So when you play new games or other games that you play for the first time, do you prefer playing the game, finish the game first, then taking pictures, or taking pictures while playing the game for the first time? And the second question is just kind of related to video game adaptations. Do you prefer video game adaptations on a movie or TV series? That's all.
That's a cool question.
Yeah.
So going to your first one, any new game that I find out if there's a photo mode right off the bat. Like as soon as I'm done with the tutorial and I'm able to run, I find if there's a photo mode.
Yeah.
And I mess with it and get at least one picture or two just to see how it works, how it functions.
Yeah.
And then I'll play the game. I'll run around a bit, and I'll photo as I go. If there's a moment that presents itself or a cool thing that I like and I want to get a picture of it, but I don't necessarily ban myself from using photo mode during my first playthrough. I try to enjoy it as I go, but if I beat the game, anytime I hop back on usually is just for photo mode.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do another playthrough or two, but yeah, I make sure that I get some photos sprinkled in during my first playthroughs of any game, just to learn the photo mode and get used to it before heavy dives into a session.
Yeah.
But your second question, I don't know too many adaptations that I've really watched, to be honest. I need you to remind me of some, to be honest. I know a video game movie is like Resident Evil or that Monster Hunter game. I'm not too keen on the movies. I think they usually rush the story or don't tell it well, or the characters are kind of one surfaced,
Yeah. For example,
kind of
because
flat.
I think of The Last of Us that was made as a TV show a few months ago, and I think I prefer more on TV show if they want to do a video game adaptation, because there's a lot of time to invest on the characters, something like that. But I don't know about you, but yeah. So what did you think about it?
No. That was spectacular
Yeah.
film. The Last of Us on HBO. If anyone's out there from the company or whatever, amazing. You guys did great.
Yeah.
That was, oh my God. And the story changes were helpful, I think. I think they added more depth.
Episode 3, man.
Wow. Yeah, dude. Bill and, I can't remember his name. Fred? Maybe?
Oh, shit.
Frank? Bill and Frank.
Frank, yeah.
Yeah, that episode, I was a grown man crying in my living room after that, man.
Yeah.
That was some awesome film. And I think the TV shows do, like you said, give more time to flesh out what needs to be told story wise. And hopefully the Ghost of Tsushima movie does a good job.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I'm holding out for the best. I think they know what they're doing.
Fingers crossed.
I think you're
But I
right.
like your questions.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question, because I think, when you've got a film and you've got a couple of hours to tell a whole story in a couple of hours, it's just not enough time.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
with a TV series,
I agree.
say a game takes you 20 hours to complete, you've got 20 episodes. I completely agree with that. That was an amazing question.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Ash.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ash. Oh, we've got another request coming as well. Oh, here we go. We've got Son OG wants to ask a question. All right, let's just approve your request.
Sorry, I'm a little
Son.
sniffly.
Hey, dude, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh,
How
hello.
you doing?
Doing all right. How are y'all?
All
Doing
good,
well.
man. All good. What is your question for Leroy?
All right, Mr. Leroy. I need to know, do you like taking pictures in regular photo mode for Tsushima or in Legends more?
Ha! Damn, you really had to do that to me.
Yeah, it was necessary.
Okay, well, the cool thing, in my opinion, they each have their own strengths. So the main game, you have incredible environments, which Legends does too. There's no denying that.
Mhm.
But with the main game, there's just way more variety of like colors and scenery and weathers and just I don't know. There's more environmental storytelling in the main game. But when it comes to Legends, you get those sick ass armors, you get those cool out of bounds effects, you get those evil looking enemies, you
Right.
get those mystic looking guys. Dude, yeah, there's no, I can't choose a favorite between the two. They both have really cool things you can do with them. But Legends might be slightly more fun because you can do those cool doubling effects out of bounds. Uh,
Yep, we
yeah,
heard it here.
I'm
We
gonna
heard
say
it here
Legends.
first. He likes Legends more. We heard it here first.
Just the photo mode, man. Come on. I'm not gonna say I like it better than the main game.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
But
we're all
thanks for
going
the
to have to go.
question, man.
Definitely, we're all going to have to go and practice now with the outbound shots to see the effects.
Yeah, I want you guys to figure that out because it's so cool. To
Well,
me, I
definitely.
don't know if you guys will like it, but I think it's kick ass. So.
No, the ones I've seen that you posted on Twitter, definitely they give such a good effect. And I suppose that's one theme. You know, me personally and some other people I've spoken to do find difficult is that abstract. Abstract is a very difficult style and theme to capture and portray in VP, isn't it?
It is because a lot of the worlds are so specifically designed for look at this image, look at this scene. Whereas it's not a lot of crazy effects added to video games unless it's like Control, where everything goes wild. But yeah, Legends gives you that opportunity to do those really cool abstract, like my profile picture actually. Um, a lot
Oh,
of those Sun OG, I like that you brought that up because yeah, Legends has way cool effects you can do, and I find those to be super fun. So go try them. Go out of bounds, turn on photo mode, and see what's up.
Almost
definitely.
definitely.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks, SunOG. We've got another request come in from Lil Wolfie. Let me just approve your request, man, and we'll get you on. There we go. Lil Wolfie, are you there? Can you hear us? You're on mute.
That's Kadeem, right?
Yes, it is, Karim.
Hey, dude.
Hey, good.
You there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm
Oh,
here.
hey, buddy.
Here.
How are you doing? What's your question for Leroy?
Nah, man. Just figuring out how to get his silhouette shots them. How he learn how to master his silhouette shots.
I apologize. I didn't hear you very well. Can you
Now
please
asking you
repeat
how you do
yourself?
your silhouette shots.
How do I set up my shots?
Your silhouette.
I'm sorry, man. I think I'm having a disconnect between my ears and my brain. Silhouette. Is that what you said?
Yes, I know you heard it.
Yeah.
Silhouettes. Okay,
There we
okay,
go.
okay. I
How'd you
got
get-
you.
How'd you get up and set your silhouette shots? Because your silhouette shots are really cool. So fill us in. How'd you do it?
Okay. Well, you got to find a good spot where there's lighting coming from behind you, which luckily some photo modes give you that time of day slider so you can change where the light's coming from. But I think my favorite way to do it is do that photo mode glitch, get yourself in front of the sun and take a picture that way, make the sun huge to where you're the only visible thing in there, which I know you've been doing too, which they're always great. But I don't know, man. The silhouettes are just, it's a good style in my opinion. Just getting the form of an imposing character standing there with nothing to see but just the form. It's really cool. I like finding like a doorway with a bunch of light behind it, so that way that's the only thing you see is the character, or maybe like stand somewhere where it's really bright and there's shadow everywhere else, but where you are, is a cool way to try to get a silhouette. But the hard way is just messing with those brightness and contrast sliders to where it looks good, but not like shit at the same time. With
Yeah.
So the silhouettes are actually kind of hard to do. I haven't done some in a long time. Thanks for reminding me. I want to go back and try to do some more of those later. But
I think
yeah, the silhouettes are awesome. And Kadeem, go check out his profile. He's got some awesome sunset uh, silhouettes that he's done, where it's like just the shape of the sun and Jin inside of it. Oh my God, he's a master of those. I don't know why he's asking me about it when he's better than me at it. So why don't you tell us how you set them up, dude?
The same way you did it.
Well,
Like,
I know. I'm just saying, yours are top notch. So I appreciate the shout out, but shout out right back to you, man.
Cool. Thanks for the question, Kadeem. And I think one shot I saw of yours recently, Leroy, was I think you were wearing the mask that looks like bunny ears. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it's a
and
kitsune mask.
That's the one. And you're just in front of a circle arch with the light coming from behind. That was an awesome shot.
Thank you. I think that's honestly one of my favorite shots I've ever taken. Besides the one you used for the last "Today is the Day" advertisement you did, those are my two favorite shots I've ever taken, I think.
It's like I knew.
It's like you did. But yeah, that's a really cool spot. I think it's Umugi. I can't remember the name of the village, but it's where down south of the west of the second region of Ghost of Tsushima. I can't remember the names right now because I'm not looking it up. But Umugi Cove, I think, is the name. There's that circular doorway that if you line up the light, you can get amazing silhouettes in front of that staircase. So if you guys want to go look, it's on my profile somewhere, not too far down. And yeah, go to that spot and try it out because you can get some awesome silhouettes there.
I'm going to need you to go there in the game and send me a screenshot on the map.
I will.
Because I saw that shot, I thought I need to find where that circular arch is.
Yeah, it's a great spot. I'll show you where it is later today.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with open world games and the maps is you never really see everything.
No, man, there's still stuff I see people take a picture of, and I'm like, where is that? Which is crazy because I've played this game like 4 times, but it's cool, man. You can miss out on a tiny little thing and find it 3 playthroughs later and be like, oh, that's cool.
And that's why it's so cool. Like with whereas the environment artists or level designs, that kind of thing, the level of detail that goes into the games nowadays, that you're still finding stuff new after when did Tsushima come out? 2019, was it?
2020, I believe.
2020.
Ghost of Tsushima came out.
Yes, we're still finding new things after 3 years. It's just kudos to the people who make the games we like to snap. That's what I say.
Right?
Definitely. So we haven't got any more requests. So, dude, it's been great to speak to you.
Hey, right back at you.
It's been good to have you on. I've learned some new hints and tips. I'm going to have to re-download Ghost of Tsushima now and try them out.
Yes, you are. And all of you listening, do the same thing.
Do it. But yeah, no, it's been great to speak to you, man. Really good to hear your answers. And we will catch you on the flip side. And thanks for your time.
All right, man. Have a good dinner because I know you've been waiting on it. And I'm going to go get some tacos. All of you have a good time.
I'm ready for them.
Thanks for letting me on, guys. I'll see you later.
Cheers, Leroy. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.